Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program, where we're looking at our brand new main bus and also one of the nearer planets of Delta Bootis 2. Mere half a astronomic unit away from us, at least at the moment. Last episode we didn't check the space map, so shall we have a look at that? Here we are, there's Icarus, our robot. We're on Delta Bootis 4, orbiting Delta Bootis 3, and yep, there's number 2 moving by. It's already been at its closest and it's going to get further and further away as it heads around its orbit, of course, faster than we do. And I'm getting, for a second, I'm like, wait, are we going the opposite way? But no, the camera is tracking the rotation of the planet, which is why everything's still moving. But yeah, that's the lava planet. Probably the first place that we will head to once we're able to fly between worlds, because it is the nearest. And then there's Delta Bootis 1, the desert planet. Of course, if 2 is over there and 1 is over here, when it comes to flying through space, we'll head straight for that one, because it'll be easier to get to. But you do have to consider, like, exactly where the planets are when it comes to flying to them, especially early on in spaceflight when you're running a little bit closer to the wire in terms of power supplies and fuel and all that kind of thing. Of course, later on, flying between planets will be a piece of cake. You'll be able to do it all the time with minimal fuel use, but early on, you're going to struggle to have all the necessary resources. That is why I have been holding on to these 4 hydrogen fuel rods. I used one of them early on just to, like, make up for some power issues I was having, but I've otherwise kept these to hand because they are way more effective than graphite, for one thing, for fueling the mech. Speaking of, we need some more graphite for the mech. Let's head over and grab some. We hopped over that little patch of water there. Yeah, there's lots of little water blobs in a grid because of how the foundations have come together. Should have plenty of those now. Yeah, look at that. Thousands of the stuff. We're actually going to put some back. Yes, graphite. We do have some running spare because at the moment we're not running at full power consumption. But there's definitely not a ton in excess. We can grab what's there at least and make do. But actually, we're going to struggle to keep up supply for the mech. There we go. We've run through the backlog and now we're just grabbing what's getting through because power's not going full speed, which isn't much. Well, it'll help anyway. Doesn't even fully charge us, but it'll fully fill the chamber. It'll help. We are going to work towards an alternate fuel source today, though. Not because it's an alternate fuel source, but because it is the next part of production. We need to make hydrogen in order to do red science. That said, before we do that, we should see about getting some better power, because we are, as I was saying, close to the limit right now. I'm going to get a couple more miners running. This seems pretty good here. Just enough room to squeeze these 2 in. What kind of coverage do they have? 6 veins, 8 veins, so that between them that's 14 times 30, that's more than enough. It is 420, I believe. So the max a belt can take is 360. We will fill that and then have some to spare. Priority will go to this one as well, which is what we want, because this one's overlapping some of its nodes with at least this one. We want to try and get like everything being mined a bit, so we don't end up with like one spot left that's still got ages of mining remaining. Especially because every node is just going to get mined at the same rate by any miner that's pointing at it. Works out well, yeah. Every node is covered by a miner now, which is about what we want. So 6 is the limit of furnaces that can run off of the coal supply of a single belt. So what we might as well do is actually cut this belt here and then run this one like so. I'm actually not going to bother with the buffer in this case because there already is one, and these will stop before any others. If there's enough of a supply, as the line builds up, it will go this way, meaning these will fill up, meaning that this buffer will fill. And then otherwise, well, actually, draining the buffer will no longer work because, well, it's a full belt already. It's now just going to be a buffer for us to grab coal if we need it, I think. But yeah, so we can put another 4 smelters on this. So there we go, and we run into a power line apparently, but this is where we're stopping for now, and perhaps for a good while. We may never extend past this particular spot with this particular array, especially considering we are heading rapidly towards main bus reserved area. So, oh. Connect. And output. There we go. And then we'll actually make sure that these two over here are running. There we have it. We've doubled our graphite supply, which should fill exactly one belt because we make one graphite out of 2 coal. So the single belt will suffice. And then we can take... we need to make 6 more of these. It's going to take a little bit of time because we've got to make the prerequisite stone. What I will do for future is grab myself a stack or 2 of stone just so that next time we're doing some crafting, it's not going to need us to make it ourselves. I don't actually have a storage for this stuff, and I'm too lazy to put one in right now. We're just going to grab what's here, or at least try to. There's not actually that much getting through because I guess I got the ratios pretty close. You know what I never did? I never put the input in on this side. What a fool. So I was probably right about the ratios then, that between 3 of them they will use all of the stone that comes by. Yep, apparently so. In that case, I'm going to come to this bit of the belt here and steal it from here, and that's going to shut down the production of foundation for a second, but I think it'll be fine. We've got thousands of this stuff at this point. We'll go for 2 stacks, we'll go for 200. It just saves a little bit of time smelting them ourselves whenever we got to make something that uses stone. And can I get it to exactly 100? It's a little bit easier in this one, because you can stop and then click for 1. But sometimes it will grab 2. Oh. There we go, exactly 200. Nicely done. And yeah, so much foundation. Let's just like grab it and start using some of it. We can now switch to the decorative foundation and apply it to the main bus area. I'm gonna try and perfectly align with the grid because I like to do that. But there's a definite possibility it'll go wrong because it can be a little bit finicky. And we are going to potentially start to burn through our supply of soil. This'll really hurt it. 8,000 in one go, this will do. I don't have enough already, I already used up too much of it before. So I'll have to go eat some mountains. Oh, it will consume soil pile to do that bit. I guess it's slightly low. Yeah, a lot of it is. And there's not many places that are going to give me soil pile. Huh. Let's see if we can find some. There we go. There's a little bit here. We'll just put concrete under this deposit. Sure, why not? I'm sure that makes sense. I like that that's the thing in all the games, actually. In Satisfactory and Factorio, you can build foundations underneath deposits and then still mine from them. There we go. We've got a little bit to go off of, but not enough to extend the bus into the water. Just enough to do the little fiddly bits around here without it complaining that we have literally nothing left. There is a nice hill here. Oh, there we go. 10,000 in a 10 by 10 space over here. So let's just run along this line. I like that the building range seems to be possibly anywhere you can click. That's cool. Let's make it a proper square. I've gotten already entirely distracted from what I was going to be doing today, which is getting oil and making it into hydrogen. I'm already on a tangent of concreting everything. Oh, and I've run out of foundation. There we go. That's all the foundation made so far. There'll be more already built up, so we could do a little bit more before we stop. Yep, so we can just quickly fill in. We can bridge this gap here. Bring that up to there. And just a tiny bit more, and we can also do that. And just a tiny bit more. Okay, we'll stop. We'll put it all back now. Okay, so yes, oil. We need stuff for that. We need the machines that pump oil. But first I need to remember that what I was doing, actually, was waiting for these to craft. It's gonna be one of those days. I got us more soil pile, though, because there was a nice big hill here that I missed. Alright, run this up to here. And then... Oh, did that? I connected between the two machines. That's not what I want. I want to connect from the belt. There we go. Bit mishmash. I didn't really make sure I was putting the switches in exactly the same spot each time, but there we go. We have doubled our power capacity. That should look very nice on the power graph, which you access from here, I've got to remember. Yep, there we go. So there was our death spiral and then our recovery spiral earlier. But yeah, we've been kind of, I think, hitting and exceeding our means a few times. Then, not so much recently, but we're kicking back up a little bit now, it seems. But yeah, there we go. The extra power capacity is there. Also, there's also a research one, which currently isn't giving us very much at all, because we've stopped doing it. But there we go. There's also the Dyson sphere stuff, so we can track how we're doing in terms of constructing Dyson sphere points later. And of course back to production, where I like the nice mirroring going on with the copper ore. It's literally perfect. Oh, of course, because the belt is full, so every time something is used, the belt drops down a level, and then is filled from the machine, and then the machine activates. So it's always being made practically in tandem. There'll be a slight lag. I mean, there's nothing happening at the moment, so you can't see it at all. We're done with the science, so there's nothing to do right now. Except fill up anywhere that isn't already filled up, and do the power things. Yeah, imagine the only, like, iron being used right now is going into steel, which is very, very slowly depleting. It got a reprieve earlier, I think, because I was grabbing the stone, so that will have stopped it, but switching on that extra machine will have made it worse. Oh yeah, no, oh, we're running through the buffer. That's actually pretty bad. We do need more. Let's do that quickly. Plonk plonk. I did want to upgrade the smelting, but I'm gonna hold off on that a little bit longer, because only so many tasks I can commit to at any one time. Right now we're not doing any red signs, and that's a waste, so we should get that going. And that'll very quickly reveal the inadequacies of our system as everything kicks into high gear. There we go, some extra steel. As much steel consumption as this belt can support iron ore supply now. But that's fine, because there's not any iron going to anything else. So it'll all go into these, all get turned into steel, and hopefully tip things back in favor of building up a supply of steel. Oh, it's holding around 28, 29. Have we made it perfect? Have we got it exactly correct by accident? Oh, no, we hit 30. We went back down to 28. Oh, was it just a fluke? This is the kind of thing I can do for hours in a factory game, and then I have to restrain myself from doing too much when I'm actually on camera, because otherwise it'll be an entire episode of me watching numbers slowly change. But yeah, we're on the line there. It's not going anywhere, it seems. It's like a pattern even. It's just not varying from that. It's holding together, at least for the moment. There's plenty more of that to go around. Just a sneaky extra bit while we're here. There we go. Not got enough for anything else. Okay, put it back. We may need some... Oh, you know what? We need long-range power poles. But they use those things, and I don't want to... Perhaps we'll make something else instead. Let me check my recipes. Okay, maybe a different project before we get that done. Because we can make prisms, and then out of those prisms, we can make plasma exciters. And that's the thing we have 10 of, but no spare of, but are needed to make these things. I'd rather get proper production of it going rather than mashing them together myself. So that's gonna need, first of all, some, what is it? Yeah, some smelters making glass. We'll stick glass on the bus, and then we'll use the bus to make prisms, and then use the prisms to make plasma exciters, which are also, of course, made of the electromagnets. So, there's some stone. We got some here as well. Oh yeah, we've got some right here that's not currently doing anything. We're not going to need tons of glass, so I think, you know, just a couple of smelters working on it will be fine. I don't think this is something that is going to last long term, because it's going to get in the way of a few things. But let's sneak in just a couple of smelters right here, making glass. So yes, this isn't the episode about getting oil after all, and so I'm sure people were confused for a minute because I kept talking about oil and the title was not referring to that, but it's because I changed my mind now, and now we're making glass. And then plasma exciters, and like, do they have are they a fuel source? No, they're just a particular special item used for making certain crafts. Okay. We need to head down and run along here. So, raise by 1. I'd rather you raise later rather than sooner. There, and then lower again. Oh, that's too far, actually. Oh, but where you need to go is exactly where this Tesla tower is. But also, this Tesla tower does nothing, so it's gone. Let's try this again. We do need to go up a little bit sooner. Actually, maybe not that soon. This soon. How about there? And then I want you to lower such that you arrive at the ground exactly at that point, and then you can head off on your grand journey along the bus, which will use up all the conveyor belts that I have. So let's make some more. We've got plenty of all the materials right now, so that's fine. But now we don't. Hang on. You carry on, drones. I'll be back in a sec. I like that you can pick things up while flying. Seems a little bit cheaty, perhaps. Oh, the drones are trying to recharge. Or, I guess not recharge. I don't know if they have charge. Probably not. Plonk. Actually, while they're working away at that, I would quite like to get some graphite. And I've remembered we actually had a graphite storage the whole time that I could have been grabbing from. And I'm a fool. That's more like it. Do we have everything we need? I wouldn't mind a couple more of those. How are we for assemblers? Fine. Furnaces. Let's just like get back up to some nice round numbers with these. I will actually get like a few more assemblers up to 20. And I should follow my drones as they build. Soon we'll make some of those. What else could we need? Throw a couple more miners in there so we have them. There we go. We've got our 3 labs ready to go. I should probably build them really so I don't have them just knocking about in my inventory. Also, where is it? There we go. Oil extractor. Let's put one of those together. And then also an oil refinery. And that uses all of those, so there we go. That's why I wasn't going to use them to make some power poles, because they deliberately give you 10 so that you can use 4 to make that, 6 to make that, and then you're good. We'll be crafting away at those for a while, but that's fine because we've got other stuff to do in the meantime. And the recipe is pretty simple. It is 3 glass to 2 prisms. That's pretty easy. We've managed to stay ahead of the game so far, but I think we've maintained our current ground. If we were making some, like, if we're using 3 inputs every time for 1 output, we'd slowly lose ground in terms of the splitters. even with it being efficient like this. So I'm inclined to keep the splitters as mushed up as I can. Actually, it won't be so great right now. It'll, I could flip it around, but I like the direction. I like it always to be the inputs first, on this side, and then the outputs on this side if I can. Flipping it would technically be better because then I could sneak the belt past this one closer by, but whatever. I've managed to gain enough ground. I think I'll be okay. Make sure that stays up long enough and then drops. It's gonna do a neat little sidestep here and run up here. And yeah, cons of the main bus are like, I could just set the glass up literally right over there where I was making the, set up the prisms right where I was making the glass, have it all as like one nice, neat, independent system. Though I have a tendency to mash everything together, so I would run into that problem, but that's my own doing. This forces me to space things out in a neat way that means they're not going to interfere with each other. But yeah, having them have to go over here and work and stuff, like, is a bit of a disadvantage. And, of course, prisms get their own line. Everything gets its own line, the way it works here. It's not always the case with a Factorio one, but in this case, I don't know what is and isn't needed for things. So, where am I going? Here we go. Yeah, I don't know what, like, is just an intermediate component, what needs to be stored for later, what is going to be used in a bunch of things, what's going to be used in just one. So, I've just got to, make sure I can be... I've just got to be ready for anything. Put everything on the bus, see if it comes up later. If not, that's fine. Just some belts. There's plenty of iron to go around for those. And we've got to do the outputs. We might struggle, like, what's the speed of this this craft? It's 2 seconds, so we should be fine. They should be able to handle it. Yep, they're holding up fine. And then, of course, it gets sent on and sent back, and I did spot just there that we're approaching that coal. Just as we arrive going past it, we're getting to the point where the belts are going to be wide enough to hit it. Actually, that's the worst place to have that happen. Anywhere else would be way better. Like, if it was here right now, that'd be better, in a way, because everything would just be here and we'll go over it, but we're establishing belts around where these are. Because, you know, you can see the splitters are roughly, like, where the splitters are is going roughly diagonally. There's, of course, some further up when older things come back into relevance. Oh, that is actually out of range. Cool. There is a range, we've learned. Okay, and then we got to make the plasma exciters. So, stick a belt here. And again, this is 2 inputs and 1 output. So, there they are. And it's 4 electromagnets. So, a bit busy. But it's every 2 seconds, so I think just being on the nearer belt will be enough. And then having the prisms on a farther belt would also be enough. And again, I'm going to do the obnoxious thing of the right here. This is the prism belt. But I'm going to have them go all the way down and split off and come all the way back up, because them's the rules. I ain't breaking my own rules. Actually, will I have them here? The other side makes more sense. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it's going to be the electromagnets first. And in they go. And out they go. And across they go. And down they go. And around they go. And that's going to be all there is on this side, I've decided. We're going to need more power here as well. Then the input belt for the prisms will be here, and then the output for the exciters will be here. Yeah, we make one of these at a craft, so that should be fine, it being on the outside. So in, out, out. And we're hitting the end of our belts here. Let's extend them all a little bit. Just enough. Oh, the drums have gone off elsewhere though. Because I gave them that very long craft over the other way. I'd like to extend them a longer distance, but the place isn't filled up right now. I'll have to go back and get some concrete, and we may struggle with soil piles again. Keep it aligned. They're a little bit wonky. I keep moving them around because they end up having to be a bit further along to make sure they catch all of the sorters. Okay, so here... Is it going to let me? There we go. I had a moment. Or I had a moment. Hard to say. That works. In, out. Off to the side. We're way ahead of where the machines are now. Now it's getting a little bit silly. And the next splitter has to be there. So we go to here, then we go up. Oh, I missed. I accidentally hit X, cancelled everything. I already had that selected, whoops. Occasionally, I just have a panic and start flailing around and hitting random buttons, and it all goes wrong from there. Send that back that way. And here's the first two coming out. Let's steal them. 9 is a good number in this case, because, oh, we need them in 3s, but also we're out of space. Oh no, we weren't being efficient with our slots. So, bloop, bloop, bloop. You literally add one of those to a normal Tesla tower, and it means that it can run wirelessly, I guess. I mean, I guess they're all running wirelessly. They're just sending beams of electricity between them. But now we've got ones that can send beams way further between them. Do these glow in the dark, or is that just the color coming through? I think they may actually glow in just a little bit. Or they're at least made to look that way. That's quite funny. Yeah, now the Tesla tower has a much greater range because it's being boosted by plasma, I guess, and also it's able to charge me when I'm stood next to it, so I should definitely stick 1 or 2 of them down. Also, apparently they stack, so having multiple next to you will allow you to recharge faster. So you kind of can go a little bit nuts with it. Now what I do need is to start storing this stuff, really. Well, the glass supply seems to not be enough to keep up with the rate that I've given the machines. That's fine, though. We don't need these at a very high rate at all. They're just used as an advanced crafting thing in a couple of cases. Let's try and get a stack of them. I don't know what a stack is, but we'll soon find out. Probably because it'll stop counting, because we'll be out of space. Yeah, we've got no extra slots, so once the number stops going up, that means that they're instead getting deleted instead of going into my inventory. I'll probably try and avoid that by stopping at 50. Or, I'll run out of patience before then. I'm going to stop at 35 because that counts as a round number. It totally works. Right. That's that done. Ended up taking the episode. So this wasn't the oil episode, but we've got everything ready for it. This was a really bad place for science in hindsight. It's right next to the copper. What was I thinking? Why did I build it here? Right now, we can tear this down and at least move it across. Did I just delete them? Oh, I deleted the research inside them. Oops. I should go empty my inventory before I do anything else, because I'm a danger to resources right now. There's not actually much to, like, chuck away. I guess we got too much stone on us. Our gears are a little bit excessive. I don't know that we actually need prisms for anything. We've got a little bit extra in the way of magnets. I'm not sure if we even need the basic magnets anymore. We've got slightly more than a stack of belts just to be awkward. Really what we need is the research that gives us more inventory space. We can also get rid of some of our graphite doing that. And really we just have a lot of buildings. Some of them are like one-offs that we don't actually need to carry with us normally, like the oil stuff. So next episode that'll help, because we'll get rid of that thing, that thing, that thing. And also we can plonk these down right now. I like to put one here, because this is where I go to drop off stuff, so I might need charging when that happens.
You built a wireless power tower, which is suitable with long distance.
Yeah, it charges me from the grid, I know. Currently not doing it, of course, because we're fine. These will work for long range, which is perfect for what we're about to do, which is to head out into the distance for some oil that's a little bit far away. So let's make a few more of these, so we got plenty. And this is built up now, so we can grab a ton of them. There we go, 50. Nailed it. Okay. Let's put these labs back down. I'm not happy with the current lab location. I definitely want to move it, but right now I'm not sure exactly where I want to move it. So we're just going to put it back here, but leave a little bit more space to actually put some copper miners in here. Let's put a speedy sorter going both ways here. Also, I don't think this is in power range, though it isn't complaining. Oh no, it is complaining, just the symbol was there, not in the middle. So stick a tower down there. And yeah, this will be for red. Let's actually set that up correctly. And this is for research. There we go. And it'll refill it with cubes after I accidentally deleted some. It's fine, it was only, I think, 30. Not the end of the world, it's just annoying. Also, we can do a slight restock here. Yeah, basically just making sure we're definitely ready for the oil. Let's actually go look at where it is for next time. Where's the nearest oil? Like, if I look at me, where can I see oil? There. It looks like actually the bit on the South Pole is the closest. Look at it. There's no oil in the middle, and then there's like oil, 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 oil. It's all like equally far away from me. Like it's on purpose. Also, they have different production rates. Interesting thing about crude oil is that it is renewable. Funnily enough. Especially funny because it's also renewable in Factorio, while other resources technically aren't renewable. And it's also renewable in Satisfactory, but then everything's renewable in Satisfactory, so that doesn't count so much. But yeah, all of the deposits have a limited amount in, and you mine them at a set rate. Whereas all the oil deposits have an infinite amount in, but there's a particular limitation on how much you get from each one. So something to bear in mind, we can get 2.27 per second from this one. This one's only 1.73. If we go over here, 1.4 there, that's pretty terrible. 1.23, even worse. Yeah, this chain's all pretty useless apart from this one at 2.39. The 2.39 may actually be the quickest. What was I looking at before? Yeah, actually, I think it is the best deposit in the chain. Well, that's why all the other ones are terrible. It was taking all the oil pressure from the rest of them, or something. Oh, 2.41, was it? What was this one again? 2.39. Okay, so the 4.1 is slightly better. Where is it? Is it the opposite side of the planet to me, by any chance? It's up on the North Pole. Yeah, pretty close to opposite, all things told. Like, that one's dead opposite, and that one's not far from it. I think I want to go south because there's a chain of them. And so I can just exploit this entire weird ring of oil. I was going to say ring of fire, but they're not volcanoes. They're oil canos. They could definitely become rings of fire. One stray spark and the whole thing's screwed. But yeah, I think that's the way to go. I'll probably just grab the nearest one, and then if I need more, I'll work my way along the chain, either way. And this will be the area. You can see the main bus dominating the surface of the planet already. Looking pretty cool. Definitely visible from space, but that's not hard. I think Icarus is visible from space. That said, I have no idea where he is right now. Where did I leave him? Is he up there? Let's have a sneaky zoom. Where did I leave Icarus? Oh, there he is. Can we see Icarus from space? Yeah, we can totally see him from space. Little yellow smudge there. Orange smudge. Alright. This one's not even running now. Oh yeah, everything's built up very nicely. We've definitely got a lot of power capacity to make use of going forward as we expand. Oh, I've got a little bit of coal on me that I don't need. Let's, like, stick that in there. There we go. We don't need coal anymore. We have transcended the need for coal, and soon we may even transcend the need for graphite, because hydrogen's even better, though has a much lower stack size, making it a bit more annoying. You have to swap it out more often. I might stick with graphite. We'll see. Really, I got to get the hydrogen fuel rods going. For that, we need titanium, though. So that's a little bit fiddly. But there's ways and means, and we will get there, most assuredly. Turn that off. And yes, next episode, for realsies this time, I swear, honestly, we will go get oil and start making ourselves some hydrogen. But that is all I have time for today, so I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.